I pulled my name off my brother-in-law's food truck permit after he told the health inspector I never show up to actually work it. My name was on that permit for 2.5 years. Not as a favor, not as a formality, because I was there. Every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to sometimes 8 p.m. I'm the one who learned the health codes. I'm the one who took the food handler certification course because Marcus kept saying he'd get around to it. I'm the one who was there when the permit got approved in the first place, because Marcus was stuck at a barbecue his wife's cousin was throwing and couldn't make it to the county office. So when the inspector showed up 6 weeks ago on a Saturday morning, I was literally standing at the fryer when she walked over. She looked at her clipboard and asked if I was Marcus Webb. I said no, I was his brother-in-law, one of the permit holders. She nodded, wrote something down, and started the walkthrough. I didn't think anything of it. Marcus called me that Sunday night. He said the inspection came back with a note that the secondary permit holder hadn't been regularly present at operations. I asked him what that meant. He said the inspector flagged it that it could complicate the renewal. He sounded annoyed, not at the situation, at me. I said, Marcus, I was standing right there when she came in. He said, yeah, I know, but I had to tell her something. I went quiet. I asked him to say that again. He said the inspector had asked some questions about operational responsibilities, who handled what, and he kind of implied that I was more of a silent partner, that I wasn't usually around. He said it just came out that he was trying to explain the structure of the business. I asked him what structure, since it was just the two of us and his truck and I gave up my weekends for 2.5 years. He said, don't make this bigger than it is. It's a permit thing, it'll get sorted. I asked him what exactly he told her. He said he couldn't remember the specifics, which meant he remembered exactly. I didn't say anything for a few seconds. Then I told him I had to think and I talked to him later. What I didn't tell him was that I'd actually stayed after the inspector left and helped her carry her bag to her car. We talked for like 10 minutes. She was friendly. I'd mentioned I handled most of the food safety compliance because Marcus was better at the front of house side. She seemed fine with that. She told me to have a good day. So Marcus hadn't just made some offhand comment. He'd told her something specific enough that she flagged it in her report. Something that contradicted what I'd said to her directly. I called my sister that night. She's married to Marcus, obviously. I told her what happened. She said he probably just worded something badly. I said her husband told a health inspector that I don't show up to work a permit that has my name on it. She said, can you just talk to him again? I thought about why Marcus would do that. The truck was turning a decent profit by then. Not life-changing money, but real money. The permit renewal was coming up in about 4 months. My name being on it gave me legal standing. I'd never asked for a cut beyond what we'd agreed on up front, which looking back was not much. I helped build the thing. I priced the menu with him. I negotiated the commissary kitchen rate because Marcus hated making calls. I called the county office Monday morning and asked what the process was for removing a name from a food service permit. They walked me through it. It required my signature and a form. Marcus would have to resubmit for the renewal with just his name, and he'd need to meet the solo operator requirements, which meant he'd have to get his food handler certification before the renewal date. I submitted the form Tuesday. Marcus called me Wednesday night, and his voice was completely different. He asked why I'd done it without telling him. I said I was simplifying the structure of the business. He said I was being petty. I said, I thought I wasn't usually around anyway, so this should be fine. He went quiet. Then he said, you know I need that renewal by March. I said, you've got 4 months to get your certification. I did it in a weekend. He hasn't spoken to me since.